So using sonic tomography, we are going to send sound waves through the tree, mapping the density of the wood.
What is risk assessment for our trees, and what kind of process is that?
So risk assessment is essentially evaluating the health of the tree, how well is it functioning as an individual system, and then the structure of the tree. How well can it hold itself upright and be a tree?
Risk assessment happens pretty routinely. Overall, when we do the inventory, Chris is always looking, like, the risk assessment's always in his mind.
Why and when does Agnes Scott remove trees? And then how do we replace those trees?
So first and foremost, we remove trees that are either dead, dying, or present some sort of hazard. And we go through many steps in evaluating that hazard. And then as needed, we recommend additional services like sonic trunk scans, climbing aerial inspections that would evaluate those things in greater detail and then make a determination of what the best management strategy is there. We just recently went through 2 sonic trunk scans on campus where we noted external visible signs of stress.
Good morning, I'm Chris Hastings with Arbormedics. We are here looking at a water oak at 108 Adams Street. This tree is obviously a large, giant piece of wood in contact with the soil. Recently, we've seen fruiting bodies of a fungus called Ganoderma that has showed up on the outside of the trunk. And the question is, how does this relate to the internal condition of the tree? So using sonic tomography, we are going to send sound waves through the tree, mapping the density of the wood. The sound waves travel through the diseased area of the tree, so it's a better technology for testing a tree without moving the disease in the tree. Some people like to drill holes in the tree, which actually puts healthy wood in contact with diseased wood. We're avoiding that by using sound waves, which never carry the disease with them, as they provide us with integral data for understanding this tree.
And fortunately, both came back positive. Initial wood kind of problems in the trunk, but nothing that would compromise the structural integrity of the tree. We'll continue to monitor it over the next 2 to 3 years and see how that develops over time. The other reason that trees may get removed is as campus grows and spaces change, they're used differently. A lot of discussion and planning goes into it to the point where we understand, okay, this tree needs to be removed, and that really is the only option that we have to be able to, again, balance the function and the uses of campus and the goals of Agnes Scott as an institution.
How does our campus handle pest management without harming existing pollinators and other species on campus?
So in the Center for Sustainability, we had a volunteer, Elena Bandanza, who graduated in 2020, who wrote an integrated pest management plan for our campus, which included, what pesticides we'd be using, how we could think about this in a more holistic manner and keep pollinators in mind.
From a tree standpoint, we scout for pests that may be a problem. We try to be preventive in nature. Plants have these natural systems, that immune systems, if you want to call it, or defense systems that really help balance those things. And they're all based on health and vigor, how much the tree is growing. So we want to build a resilient population of trees that can naturally fight pests. If we do have to do any interventions or increased controls, we're trying to weigh those in a way that doesn't cause more damage than we would in the first place. As an example, there are a few ash trees on campus which are currently being threatened and impacted by an Asian beetle called the emerald ash beetle. We can treat for that on campus preventatively by spraying the ash trees. this isn't harmful, even though it's a neonicotinoid chemical, because an ash isn't an insect pollinated tree, it's a wind pollinated tree. So we're taking that into account and consciously making these decisions where we can, again, balance the ecosystem, maintain the trees healthy without impacting or damaging the desirable ecosystem around it.
Let's see. The first one is asking if we have any shelters for solitary bees. Do those exist on campus?
Yeah, so we've definitely made them in the past. We were hoping to have a workshop this past spring in April during our Be Aware week, but unfortunately those plans got a little bit postponed. So in the coming spring, we're going to be adapting to this, this new like dual mode kind of semester in the spring. But we're hoping to do the same kind of workshop and collaborate with Beecater. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of kind of sheltering places for bees, especially for colony bees. There was that hive rescued from the top of Maine, and then we're kind of revamping our hives on top of Bullock in the Science Center as well. So both of those projects are going to be happening in the spring, right kind of as the season gets going, so that hopefully we can make sure that all the bees have a place to call home and that we're really fostering a good environment for them to put down roots.